Hi and welcome to In the Front Row, all things reactions, reviews and interviews. My name's Jamie Lee and today I'll be doing a review of The Walking Dead Season 11 Episode 18 titled A New Deal. So we start off very similar to last week with that montage, giving us flashbacks of this time mostly Daryl, people who were very close to Daryl and obviously some other people who we've met on our Walking Dead journey, but that's how it starts, super emotional again. And then we transition to the current time where we have Maggie, Gabe, Aaron, Annie and Daryl, who are holding Lance Hornsby and his Commonwealth troopers hostage, pretty much picking up from where we left off last week. Mercer enters with more of the Commonwealth troopers and Pamela basically tells Daryl to back off, that she needs Lance Hornsby alive for the Commonwealth, and Carol comes in and tells Daryl to back off as well because she's made a deal with Pamela, basically saying, you know, they're on our side. Daryl, understandably, is not too happy about this, and he's so badassly stabs Lance Hornsby right through the hand, turns around to Pamela and says,
"Don't worry, you'll live."
And then Pamela has a private conversation with Lance, telling him that his life at the Commonwealth is over as he knows it. She needs somebody to take the fall and he is going to be that guy. They have this weird moment together. It's very much like The Boys. Not quite sure what's going on there and I'm very interested to see if there's anything further to do with that. It's very strange, but anyway. And then back at the Commonwealth, Pamela tells the community that it was Lance abusing his power and killing off members of the community. She assures everybody that he will be brought to justice, and to celebrate, they're going to have a Founders Day fair because everyone's been brought to justice and they can just live happily ever after, or so they think. Eugene and his girlfriend Max call bullshit on this. They know that Sebastian isn't innocent in it all, and they basically want him to get some sort of revenge on him as well because, you know, Hornsby's taking all the blame for it, but they know that Sebastian is in on something as well. But he's just escaped punishment. And then we move on to the members of our group that are now going to leave the Commonwealth, obviously. They know what's going down and they want to get out. We have a beautiful moment between Lydia and Carol. I got super emotional in this moment. Carol basically spitting real life advice here to Lydia, saying this:
"You take happiness wherever you can get it. And don't ever be sorry for it."
After she was apologizing for moving on and finding a new boyfriend after Henry. Again, they're playing on the past and really helping us to remember these characters that are no longer with us on the show and have moved on. And I really enjoy that they're doing that in the show. You know, every week I'm just getting really emotional and it's really obvious that, you know, the show is coming to an end and they're really trying to, you know, bring everybody with this like togetherness. And yeah, you can definitely feel it. Speaking of feels, oh my gosh, they pull out Rick's Magnum, the revolver. You've got that beautiful, beautiful shot of it. Just seeing that gun every time gets me so excited. Anyway, Daryl offers it to Judith. Judith says that she doesn't want it. And they have this real parent-child back and forth moment where Judith really wants our group to stay and help this community out like we've done with so other communities along the journey. But obviously Daryl wants to leave because he knows something's going on here and he just wants to get his people out and protect his people, which is understandable. But Judith is of a different mind where she wants to protect and help everybody, which is again also understandable. So they're having this sort of back and forth and they have a little fight there. Eugene and Max go to Lance Hornsby's cell. They are trying to fish for any information, I guess, that will bring him to justice because they don't think it's fair that he has escaped from this scot-free. You know, he's got no punishment, and they want some information on him basically. But Lance Hornsby says that the Miltons are very powerful, they're very dangerous, and that really they should all just play along with Pamela's game. Back at Pamela's office, she has created a speech for Sebastian to give to the community to basically put him back in their good graces. He doesn't want to speak her mind or anyone else's mind. He wants to speak for himself. He calls it bullshit. Max takes this opportunity to record him talking about his frustrations and basically telling the truth about how corrupt the community actually is, how everything in there is rigged, and basically saying that
The reality is that the poor stay poor so that the rich can do whatever the hell we want.
busted. So Annie is at the Commonwealth with Negan and they have an ultrasound scan on their baby. And this is the one thing that really ticked me off with Cobra Kai. They just announced, you know, I think I'm pregnant, things like this. And then suddenly they have this ultrasound scan and the baby is fully formed when this baby currently in the time frame of things would be like the size of a peanut or less. So it's like, I get that it's entertainment and it's for, you know, like visual purposes to show that they are having a baby, but it's like the baby is not that far formed and I don't know why, but it really frustrates me seeing stuff like that. But anyway, I overlook it because it's a show and I get that. And they're my favorite shows, so whatever. And they have a little conversation about the safety of their baby. Negan wants to stay, or at least wants Annie to stay, in order to ensure that the baby is healthy, safe, and that there's a safe delivery of the baby. Annie wants to leave. She doesn't trust the people within the community. Obviously, they killed off like a whole bunch of her people, so that's understandable. But at the same time, you're carrying a child. You should want the best for your child. And I don't know about you guys, but like for me, I personally think that the likelihood of you delivering a baby safely in a hospital is far greater than you delivering a baby outside of the walls, you know, where you've got these zombies running around, you've got no medical equipment, you've got no care after the baby's born for both the mum or the baby. So I agree with Negan on this, that I think that they should stay. You know, they've got the care, they've got the equipment there. Anyway, it was nice to see that little interaction between those two, but yeah, I'm definitely on Negan's side with that. And he is not the only one wanting to stay at the Commonwealth. We move on to Ezekiel, who is in his element at this Founders Day fair. You know, he's really found a place within this community, and he said this:
helping the people of another kingdom before it falls apart.
Again, that really played on the nostalgia factor for me, you know, because he did have a kingdom that he ruled before it collapsed. So I just think them tying in the moments is really, really nice. So after Daryl and Judith's little disagreement, I guess you could call it, Judith goes missing, she runs away, and I really thought that this was a perfect opportunity for Daryl to sort of go on his way as well and really separate from the group and get ready or set up for that spin-off that we know is coming from him. I'm really not sure how they're gonna like separate everybody like that and really put them into their spin-offs at the end of this season. I mean, I guess we're gonna find out soon because there's like 6 episodes left, but I just thought that this was a perfect opportunity to do that, and I would have been really happy with it. So I was a little bit excited that Judith ran away, thinking that maybe this is where Daryl's going to go on this side mission and go and find her in his own series or in his own spin-off. He takes Carol with him to look for Judith, and they just have this beautiful conversation about parenting.
This parenting thing, I ain't very good at it.
That's who you are to her now.
What would he do?
It's not here, you are.
It really breaks my heart because he didn't ask for this. He didn't ask to be a parent. He was thrust into it. And Daryl struggles with communicating with anybody, let alone children. You know, like this is a really big deal for him and he's really trying. And yeah, just having that heart to heart with Carol about parenting, I just thought that was so, so beautiful. You know, like talking about what would Rick do and saying that Rick isn't here, like you are the parent to her now. Oh my gosh, just so, so beautiful. Of course, we end up finding Judith. She is hiding out at the church. This is not where Daryl is getting his spin-off. He's not like escaping our show this early, but anyway, I thought that might have been the case, but no, it wasn't. We find Judith. She wants to be alone, and Daryl has this heart-to-heart with her and says this:
I'm sorry about earlier. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying really hard.
Again, this was a very beautiful moment and it gave me all the feels, but they kissed and made up. So the Founders Day begins with a wrestling match, which I think the community is way too into. I think it was a little bit corny and a little bit cheesy, if I'm being honest with you. But before Sebastian can make his speech about Founders Day, Eugene plays the pre-recorded message of him saying how corrupt the Commonwealth is, how rigged the community is, and basically all chaos erupts from that because people aren't too happy to hear the truth. They start throwing bottles at Pamela, and Max escapes because she knows that Sebastian's coming after her. So Sebastian chases her down. And then obviously we have the people that Lance's corrupt friends shot before. They have transformed into walkers inside the walls and they start attacking the people within the community. So you've got chaos happening. People are running everywhere. Max is trying to escape from Sebastian. People are trying to escape from the walkers. It's just total chaos. Daryl shoots one of the walkers, and that is like a little moment between him and Judith there where he basically is saying, not with his words obviously, but with his actions, he's saying, all right, we're going to help these guys. And that is the encouragement or motivation, I guess, that Judith needs to do the same. So she asks for her dad's gun. Oh my gosh, such a special moment. And then obviously we see them going around killing off these walkers and things like that. Sebastian catches up to Max, holds her basically near a zombie so that she can get bit, but she doesn't get bit because Eugene barges them out the way, which makes Sebastian fall and land pretty much on a walker who bites him in the neck. Everybody's standing around and watching, which I don't really see the continuality of that because people were running and, you know, are scared of the zombies in the shot previously, but suddenly they're all standing around and watching, you know, this guy get bit and just like scream for help and stuff. It just was a little bit off to me. But anyway, we see Judith shoot the walker that has bit him, and that is how we close out the episode. That's the end. This was an okay episode for me. The positives was the nostalgia factor. You know, they really played on, again, similar to last week, they opened with that montage. Then we have Lydia talking about Henry. Then we have Ezekiel talking about his kingdom and when he ruled the kingdom in the past. And then obviously we have Daryl. I didn't even mention that moment in here, but a beautiful moment where Daryl puts on his winged biker vest. And, you know, OG fans from the show know that that is his iconic outfit. And just seeing him put that back on was really, really special to me. And also seeing Rick's gun and then seeing Judith shoot Rick's gun. It was just so wholesome, and I can just feel that this show is really trying to bring together all the memories and the moments that we have had together in this show. Oh god, it sounds so dumb and so cheesy, but this show's been such a big part of my life, and yeah, seeing those moments as a fan, it really just means something to me, and it makes me feel really, really nice and really, really whole. So I know that the rest of the show is going to be like that. I know they're really going to pull on those heartstrings, you know, before they tear us all apart. But I'm really enjoying those moments that they're giving us at the moment. You know, that real fan service, giving the fans what they want to see. We want to see Rick. So I'm really hoping that at the end of this season, we see him pop up in some way, shape or form, not in the form of flashbacks. The cons of this episode, and yes, there were some, it was a little bit cheesy to me with the whole Founders Day and then the celebrating of the founders. Like, do these people even know who the founders are? Because the day before they were wanting to hang Sebastian. They did not like this guy, and then suddenly today someone else has been brought to justice and they're like, oh, everything's fine, everything's great, let's celebrate with a wrestling match. It was just a little bit cheesy in my opinion, and the community seemed way too into this wrestling match. I was like, when I talk to people about wrestling, nobody cares. And then suddenly there's a whole community where they're like, yay, wrestling. So I don't know, maybe I just need to go to the Commonwealth or something. But anyway, that was a little bit cheesy. And a few of the shots in this were a little bit like, really? This one right here, we could see there was chaos. We didn't really need it shot in this angle. I did not like this angle at all. And as I said earlier with the continuality, you know, like one time there was a shot and people were running, and then in the very next shot where Sebastian was still, you know, crying for help, everybody was standing around watching him, and it's like, there's a walker behind you, you know, there's zombies right there. Why are you standing around? It just, nothing really flowed there. It seemed a little bit too dragged out. Anyway, that might be a little bit petty, but those are my thoughts on that. I'm really excited to see where they go with Pamela. Obviously Sebastian's dead now, so we're going to see her at her worst. She's going to want revenge. She's going to really become a villain, and how Lance links in with all that, I'm not too sure yet. I don't really know what's going on with them. As I said, they've got that like weird moment there, which was, you know, basically from The Boys. And also I'm curious, these corrupt friends that Lance has, what is their motivation? Like, what is he offering them, or what could he possibly offer them in order for them to do these bad things within their community? Like, what does he have over them, or what can he give them, considering he's in a cell right now? I don't know what's going on there, but I'm really curious to find out. And the next episode is all about variants, so I am very excited to see the walkers or the zombies that we know in a different form, opening doors, running, whatever that might be. I'm really excited to see that. But anyway, those were my thoughts on this episode. If you like this video, could you please give it a like, and if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel, and then head on over to my Instagram and give me a follow over there as well, please. Okay, sweet as, have a good day. Bye.